Order. Sergeant Arms will secure the doors. Members, please take your seats. A little bit more subdued today. I think everybody's been working hard, and this is the recovery a little bit here. Madam Clerk, if we could please call the roll.
Mr. President.
All right, Senators, we are very, very pleased to again have Rabbi Adam Raskin of Har Shalom Congregation in Potomac, Maryland, guest of the distinguished senator from the 17th District. Members, please rise for the invocation.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for the honor of sharing words of blessing with you as you begin today's session. Thank you to my dear friend and Senator CHERYL KAGAN, and to my senator from District 15, Brian Feldman. Thank you, President Ferguson, President Pro Tem Griffith, and the majority and minority leaders of the chamber. Though I did not grow up in Maryland, my roots run deep in this state. My great-grandparents fled violent persecution and pogroms in Russia in the early 20th century, eventually making their home in Hagerstown, where they became active members of Congregation B'nai Abraham, which was founded in 1895. My great-grandfather worked at the Offray Ribbon Factory in Hagerstown, and his son, my grandfather, graduated from Hagerstown High School in 1940. The entire family eventually moved to Baltimore, where my great-grandfather lived until the ripe old age of 101. He was among the proudest and most patriotic Americans and Marylanders I had ever met. He knew that had he not escaped Russia, which to this day is wreaking havoc and bloodshed on innocent civilians, he would never have lived the kind of life that he did here, or been able to provide for his family the way he was able to provide as an American and as a Marylander. Every day of his long life, he was deeply grateful for the hope and promise that this country and this state provided his family. This morning, I pray that Maryland continue to be a haven for all those who seek a better life and better opportunities for themselves and their families, just as it was for my ancestors. May you, our elected leaders, safeguard a Maryland that provides no harbor to anti-Semitism, bigotry, or xenophobia of any kind. May the laws you enact and the rhetoric you employ, both inside this chamber and beyond its walls, unite all Marylanders, regardless of political party, race, or creed. May you be blessed with wisdom and sensitivity and an awareness of the great trust that we, the public, place in you. We are deeply grateful for your service and your stewardship of our state. May this new day be full of progress and productivity, and may God bless each of you today and every day. Amen.
Mr. President.
Oh, yes. Do you want to introduce your cousin before we? Do you want to introduce your cousin before?
Oh, I was going to do that.
Oh, yes, okay. Chair recognizes the senator from District 17.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Especially after the craziness of yesterday and crossover day, and we all have the opportunity to take a deep breath and reflect on the beautiful words of my rabbi, Adam Raskin, whom I just adore. I was a founding member of Har Shalom and was bat mitzvah there. My rabbi married me, not married me, but that would be bad. His wife would not have liked that. And since 2011, Adam Raskin has led our congregation in magnificent ways. And I will just say that he is not just a faith leader, but he is a community leader and is the first ever rabbi to participate in and graduate from Leadership Montgomery. So very connected with diversity and inclusion, and has actually been involved with international refugees and reaching out and supporting them. And he is not related to our wonderful Congressman Jamie Raskin, but they joke that probably back a few generations, they might have been cousins. With him today is Elizabeth DiTullio, his cousin, who is a bilingual investigator at the Children's Law Center as she finishes up her legal degree. She graduated from University of Michigan, and she is lovely and totally fascinated about what's going on here in Annapolis today. So with that, can we journalize the prayer, Mr. President, and welcome Rabbi Raskin and Ms. DiTullio.
Well, we welcome you both. Thank you so much for being here. And without objection, we'll certainly journalize the rabbi's wonderful invocation this morning. Chair recognizes the senator from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Mr. President. And Rabbi Raskin, thank you for your remarks today. Very poignant and appropriate. This is not your first time here. You've come here before. A few years ago, you looked up at the wall there and you said you missed seeing Raskin's name up there. And without missing a beat, the senator from Carroll County said, so do we. I replaced Senator Raskin, and so that was a humbling experience for me, but I'm glad he's where he is. I'm glad you are here with us today, and I'm glad I'm here as well. So thank you for being here.
Well said, Senator, well said. All right, has everyone recorded their presence in the chamber? If so, the clerk will take the call. With 45 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland is now in session. Announcements or introductions? Yes, Chair recognizes the senator from Baltimore County.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would just like to say that I'm very happy to say that Betty Wilson is here today, and although she is from Harford County, is a good friend, and I'm very happy that she's here. Just wave to her up there. She's up there. So enjoy the day.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Chair recognizes the senator from Montgomery County.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and colleagues. Although he's not with us on the Senate floor, I just want to recognize the doctor of the day, a constituent of mine, Dr. Benjamin Stalling, so you might see him around the State House today. Thank you.
Wonderful. We thank him. We thank him for helping to serve us here in the Senate, keep us healthy. Chair recognizes the senator from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Mr. President. Joining us in the gallery is a friend of mine and constituent of the chairman. Please welcome my friend Jake DuPont.
Jake, welcome, Jake. Mr. DuPont, welcome. Chair recognizes the senator from the 29th District, followed by the protocol chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, I'd like to introduce you to Emily Shannon, one of my interns in my office. She's here today. Emily's from the Eastern Shore in a small town called Quantico, but she is a senior at St. Mary's College. She is a dual major, political science and Spanish. You know how we count our days here. This morning she told me she had 54 days before graduation. So if we could give her a warm Senate welcome.
Welcome, Ms. Shannon. We've only got 21, so we got you beat. Chair recognizes the co-chair of the Protocol Committee.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, it is Tuesday, which is the day that we will say good day to our students who are with us virtually. A little tongue-tied here this morning. But anyway, please welcome these students who are working with us, and we may have a couple this week, I believe, on the floor, so for the next 2 days that we will have 2 or 3 with us. But from Frederick County District 4, Governor Thomas Johnson High School, Denver Brown. Ray Joan Carter from Baltimore City, District 40, National Academy Foundation. Samuel Chernoff, Charles County, District 28, Morris J. McDonough High School. Taylor Gray from Somerset County, District 37A, Crisfield High School. That district doesn't quite sound right. It should be 38. District 38, excuse me. Tanish Gupta, Washington County, District 2A, North Hagerstown High School. Kylie Johnson, Hartford County, District 34A, Havre de Grace High School. Frederick Jorgensen, Howard County, District 9B, Centennial High School. Caroline Keller from Anne Arundel County, District 33, Archbishop Spalding High School. Una Mecki from Montgomery County, District 16, Richard Montgomery High School. Caroline Mulford from Anne Arundel County, District 33, Archbishop Spalding High School. Gabrielle Rosella, Frederick County, District 4, Oakdale High School. Ryland Sachs from Baltimore County, District 34B, Notre Dame Prep School. And Katerina Valdez Lane from Montgomery County, District 14, James Hubert Blake High School. And Joseph Zolkiewicz from Carroll County District 4 South Carroll High School. Please welcome these students, and we know that they will have kind of a little bit of a down week, but hopefully they will get an opportunity to participate, as I believe this is their second week that they've been participating virtually. So they'll get to compare and contrast what happened before and what's happening now. So thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause.
Welcome, Pages. We are very, very thankful that you're participating in the program and hope that you enjoy the week observing. We'll have several in person here today or this week, so they'll get a little taste of the Senate in person. All right, any other Baltimore District 8? Do we have any? Nope, we're good. I don't think Digital Harbor is here yet. Correct? They're not. They're not here yet. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. Are there any other announcements before we jump in? If not, so be considered the reading of the journal from the prior legislative day. We have a report of the Committee on Budget and Taxation. Let's go ahead and take the calendar number 26 up. Clerk will read the first bill.
Senate Bill 760, Senator Hayes, property tax exemption, religious group or organization, third-party leases, favorable with one amendment.
Chair recognizes the senator from Frederick City as the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 760 specifies that real estate property owned by a religious group or organization that is leased to a third party does not qualify for a specified property tax exemption. There's one amendment that clarifies that this applies only to the portion of the property that is leased. So move favorable on the amendment and the committee report.
Floor leader moves for the adoption of the one committee amendment and the favorable committee report. On the amendment, Chair recognizes Minority Whip.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just ask that the bill and the amendment lie over under the rules so we can take a look at it. Thank you.
Senator's motion is in order. The bill and the amendment will lie over under the rule. Clerk, read the next bill.
Senate Bill 796, Senator GUZZONE, instant ticket lottery machines, veterans organizations repeal of the pre-printed ticket requirement, favorable.
Chair recognizes the chair of the committee as the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 796 repeals the requirement that licensed veterans organizations use pre-printed instant lottery tickets for their instant ticket lottery machines. This bill will allow organizations to use print-on-the-fly machines. It doesn't increase the number of machines, it just changes the technology that has developed over the years. Move adoption of the committee report.
All right, floor leader moves for the adoption of the favorable committee report. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of the report say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, Senate Bill 796 is hereby ordered printed for third reading. Clerk, read the next bill.
Senate Bill 1007, Chair, Budget and Taxation Committee, University System of Maryland, Academic Facilities Bonding Authority, favorable.
Chair recognizes the chair of the committee as the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a departmental bill that increases the bonding authority of the University System of Maryland by $300 million from $1.4 to $1.7 billion. The bill extends the maximum term of finance academic revenue bonds for all state institutions of higher education from 21 to 33 years. It also authorizes the issuance and use of $30 million in academic facility bonds to finance construction, renovation, and renewal projects at USM buildings and campuses. There are no amendments. Move the adoption for favorable committee report.
Floor leader moves for the adoption of the favorable committee report. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of the report say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, Senate Bill 1007 is hereby ordered printed for third reading. All right, let's take up the capital budget. We ready for the capital budget? Okay. So we'll call up special order calendar number 65. And we will invite the chair of the capital subcommittee to, let's have the clerk will read the bill.
Senate Bill 291, the President, Maryland Consolidated Capital Bond Loan of 2022. Questions on the adoption of the committee amendments and the favorable report.
All right, so before the body are the 220, just a couple amendments. We'll invite the chair of the capital subcommittee to join here, and we will take it up just like we did with the operating budget piece by piece. And if the chairman is ready, so recognized.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate Budget and Taxation Committee recommends 220 amendments to Senate Bill 291, the fiscal 2023 capital budget. These amendments are indicated on the committee reprint and described in the committee report distributed on Monday. And I would just say, colleagues, if you want to follow along with the amendments, probably the best resource is this, because it gives the explanations for everything. And Mr. President, while I was thinking about the 220 amendments, I just wanted to take this moment. It's never the wrong time to thank staff, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank Shannon Sullivan, Riley Williams, and Samantha Gray, who work with me in my office, who have really had their hands in this and have been an integral part of the DLS team. So I just wanted to thank them. This whole process, we examined each area of the capital budget, from state government facilities, economic development, and environmental protection programs to public health and public safety. In approaching our work this year, the committee wants to ensure that we, and I believe we have accomplished, utilizing the state's sizable fund balance to support infrastructure investment in all regions of the state, and we wanted to do this immediately. So throughout your budget document, you're going to see us paying for things immediately with cash, because that's the best way that we can use the surplus to pay for things immediately. We remained within the state's debt affordability limits, and we maintained the state's AAA bond rating. We expanded funding for school construction and state and local parks. Mr. President, I'll now turn to the committee amendments marked in the committee report and indicated in the committee reprint of the bill. Senate actions to the bill are underlined in the committee reprint of the bill. As has been the practice in the past, I will be introducing the amendments in groups. I will then move for each group to be adopted as in the past. I ask members to please hold any additional amendments, if you have any, until after the committee's amendments have been considered. With the permission of you, sir, let me now turn to the first group of amendments.
Senator may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Turning to amendment number 1, it's technical, so I'd move adoption of amendment number 1.
Chairman has moved for the adoption of the First Amendment. Any objections? Without objection, the amendment is adopted. Senator may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Now we're looking at amendments 2 through 6, and they pertain to the Maryland Department of Emergency Management, Historic St. Mary's City Commission, the Board of Public Works, and the Judiciary. So amendments 2 through 6 modifies funding for various projects in the Maryland Department of Emergency Management, Historic St. Mary's City Commission, the Board of Public Works, and the Judiciary to be funded immediately by using cash from general funds. I would move the adoption of amendments 2 through 6.
Chairman's moved for the adoption of amendments 2 through 6. Any discussion or requests to separate? If not, are there any objections? Without objection, amendments 2 through 6 are adopted. Senator may proceed.
I will now turn the body's attention to amendments 7 through 12, pertaining to the Military Department, the Department of Planning, the Department of Information Technology, the Department of Transportation, and the Department of Natural Resources. Colleagues, in the military Department, Amendment 7 restricts funding for the Camp Frederick Access Control Point project until a report is submitted. Amendments 8 through 10 modifies funding for projects in the Department of Planning, the Department of Information Technology, and the Department of Transportation to be funded immediately by using cash from general funds. In the Department of Natural Resources, Amendment 11 specifies the allocation of local parks funding and requires a report, and Amendment 12 adds funding for critical maintenance projects. Mr. President, I move adoption of Amendments 7 through 12.
Chairman has moved for the adoption of amendments 7 through 12. Any discussion or requests to separate? If not, are there any objections to amendments 7 through 12? Without objection, amendments 7 through 12 are adopted. Senator may proceed.
Colleagues, I now turn your attention to amendments 13 through 19. They pertain to the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services, as well as the Interagency Commission on School Construction. In the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services, amendments 13 through 15 modifies funding for 3 projects to be fully paid immediately with cash from general funds. In the Interagency Commission on School Construction, Amendment 16 allocates funds for the Aging Schools Program by jurisdiction. Amendment 17 restores annual language to the Senator James Ed DeGrange Non-Public Aging Schools Program. Amendment 18 is technical. Amendment 19 increases funding for school construction. Mr. President, I move adoption of amendments 13 through 19.
Chairman has moved for the adoption of amendments 13 through 19. Any discussion or requests to separate? If not, are there any objections to Amendments 13 through 19? Without objection, Amendments 13 through 19 are adopted. Senator may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues will now do Amendments 20 through 22, and they pertain to the University of Maryland Baltimore campus and the University of Maryland College Park. For the University of Maryland Baltimore campus, Amendment 20 modifies funding for the Central Electric Substation project to be fully funded using cash from general funds. For the University of Maryland College Park, Amendment 21 modifies funding for the chemistry building project to be fully paid for using cash from general funds. And 22 funds the quantum and advanced computing infrastructure. Mr. President, I'd move adoption of Amendments 20 through 22.
Chairman has moved for the adoption of Amendments 20 through 22. Any discussion or request to separate? Any objections? Without objection, Amendments 20 through 22 are adopted. Senator may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Now turning to Amendments 23 through 26. That's going to be pertaining to Bowie State University and Towson University. For Bowie State University, Amendment 23 modifies funding for the Communication Arts and Humanities building to be fully paid now immediately with cash from general funds, and Amendment 24 adds funds for facilities renewal. For Towson University, Amendment 25 and 26 modifies funding for two projects to be paid immediately with cash from general funds. Mr. President, I would move adoption of Amendments 23 through 26.
Chairman has moved for the adoption of Amendments 23 through 26. Any discussion or requests to separate? If not, any objections? Without objection, Amendments 23 through 26 are adopted. Senator may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, we'll now turn our attention to Amendments 27 through 31. They're pertaining to the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, Frostburg State University, Coppin State University, and Salisbury University. For the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, Amendment 27 adds funding for facilities renewal. For Frostburg State University, Amendment 28 modifies funding for facilities renewal to be funded immediately using cash from general funds. For Coppin State University, Amendment 29 modifies funding for the Percy Julian Science Building to be paid for immediately by using cash from general funds. And Amendment 30 provides funds for facilities renewal. For Salisbury University, Amendment 31 also modifies funding for a project to be funded immediately with cash from general funds. Mr. President, colleagues, I'd move adoption of Amendments 27 through 31.
Chairman's moved for the adoption of Amendments 27 through 31. Any discussion or requests to separate? If not, are there any objections? Without objection, Amendments 27 through 31 are adopted. Senator may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, we're now turning our attention to Amendments 32 through 38, and they pertain to the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science, Baltimore City Community College, St. Mary's College of Maryland, the Maryland School for the Deaf, and the Maryland Higher Education Commission. The University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science is connected to Amendment 32, and it modifies funding for a project to be fully funded by cash from the general funds. Amendment 33 adds funds for facilities renewal projects. For Baltimore City College, Amendment 34 adds funds for deferred maintenance, and Amendment 35 modifies funding for a project to be fully paid for by using cash out of the general funds. Amendment 36 adds funds for facility renewal projects at St. Mary's College of Maryland. For the Maryland School for the Deaf, which is connected to Amendment 37, it modifies funding for the Viditz building to be fully paid for by using cash from the general funds. Amendment 38 partially modifies funding for the Maryland Higher Education Commission to be fully paid for using cash out of the general fund, and adds funding for Montgomery College and Prince George's Community College. Mr. President and colleagues, I move adoption of Amendments 32 through 38.
Chairman has moved for the adoption of Amendments 32 through 38. Any discussion or requests to vote separately? If not, are there any objections? Without objection, Amendments 32 through 38 are adopted. Senator may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. This next set of amendments, colleagues, are Amendments 39 through 43, and they pertain to Morgan State University and the University of Maryland Medical System. For Morgan State University, Amendment 39 adds funding for deferred maintenance and site improvements, while Amendments 40 and 41 modifies funding for two projects to be paid immediately and fully by cash out of general funds. In the University of Maryland Medical System, Amendment 42 also modifies funding to be paid for immediately by using cash from general funds, and Amendment 43 adds funds for the Capital Region Medical Center. Mr. President, I'd move adoption of Amendments 39 through 43.
Chairman has moved for the adoption of Amendments 39 through 43. Any discussion or request to vote separately? If not, any objections? Without objection, Amendments 39 through 43 are adopted. Senator may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We'll now turn our attention to Amendments 44 through 49, which pertain to the Department of Environment, the Maryland Environmental Service, the Department of Juvenile Services, and the Department of State Police. In the Department of Environment, the Maryland Environmental Service, the Department of Juvenile Services, and the Department of State Police, Amendments 44 through 49 modifies funding for 6 projects to be paid for immediately by using cash from general funds. Mr. President, I'd move adoption of Amendments 44 through 49.
Chairman has moved for the adoption of Amendments 44 through 49. Any discussion or requests to vote separately? If not, any objections? Without objection, Amendments 44 through 49 are adopted. Senator may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'll now turn our attention to Amendments 50 through 172, and this pertains to the miscellaneous grant programs. Amendments 50 through 92 alter funding for miscellaneous grants, restrict funding for 3 projects pending reports, and make technical amendments to several projects. Amendments 93 through 172 add miscellaneous projects. Mr. President, we all have different jobs here, so in an effort for members to be able to take the rule, I just wanted to separate Amendment 86.
All right. So question before the body.
So I would move adoption of Amendments 50 through 172 with the exception of Amendment 86 right now.
All right. Senator has moved 50 through 172, but not 86. On 50 through 172, are there any discussion or request to separate? And senators, just take a quick look as you go through here. All right. Assuming we are all good, any objections on Amendments 50 through 172, but not 86? If not, Amendments 50 through 172, but not 86 are adopted. Question now is on Amendment 86. Do we want to do a roll call for this?
Yeah, why don't we do a roll call?
So Amendment 86, is there any discussion? If not, you'll have.
Yeah, we're going to be a team here. This is great. Okay.
The clerk will call the roll on Amendment 86.
Mr. President,
has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 44 votes in the affirmative, the amendment is adopted. Senator may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And we'll now turn our attention to Amendment 173, and that just pertains to local Senate initiatives. This is our section of the legislative bond initiatives. I would move the adoption of Amendment 173.
Senator has moved for the adoption of Amendment 173. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, Amendment 173 is adopted. Senator may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, the last set of amendments are Amendments 174 through 220. They pertain to bond premiums, prior authorizations, and pre-authorizations. Amendment 174 clarifies language regarding bond premiums. Amendment 175 through 180 alter language regarding prior authorizations. Amendments 181 through 220 add or increase funding for pre-authorizations for the upcoming fiscal years. Mr. President and colleagues, with that, I would move adoption of Amendments 174 through 220.
Senator has moved for the adoption of Amendments 174 through 220, the cleanup amendments. Any discussion? If not, any desires to separate? Any objections? Without objection, Amendments 174 through 220 are adopted. Question now before the body is on the favorable report as amended. Chair recognizes the chair of the subcommittee.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'd move adoption of the of the favorable report for the Maryland Consolidated Capital Loan Program of 2022.
All right. Question before the body is on the adoption of the favorable report as amended. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The favorable report as amended is adopted. Are there any further amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, Senate Bill 291 is hereby ordered printed for third reader. I want to say thank you to the chair of the committee and for members of the Capital Budget Subcommittee. Also a thanks to Mr. Matthew Klein, who has helped navigate a very complicated capital budget, as the last few years have been. So thank you, and for your entire team, who I know the chairman has a great deal of admiration and respect and thankfulness for. So we thank you enormously. Yes, Chair recognizes the Senator from Montgomery County.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to just take a break right now to introduce a guest
Senator, may proceed.
in the gallery because they were delayed and could not be here in the beginning of session. If they could stand up. Please, colleagues, Senate colleagues, give a warm welcome to two wonderful individuals, Stacy Wolodin, who is my legislative director, and Jasmine Linden, who is my intern. Can you give them a warm Senate welcome?
Welcome. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you. All right, let's see, what do we have next? Let's do executive nominations. This is special order calendar number 64. Clerk will read the report.
Senate Executive Nominations Report number 6. The question is, will the Senate advise and consent to the nominations of the executive?
All right. The question before the body is, shall the Senate advise and consent to the nominations of the executive? The chair recognizes the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we approve the Senate Executive Nomination Committee's approval of the governor's appointments. I would like to hold the director of the lottery.
Senator, if the number of the appointees is separate out?
That was a real early report. I don't have the number. It was
Do we
just
have the
the
number
director of
available?
lottery. It was in, I think, the very first report.
It should 15? 15. All right. So Senator has moved that we move forward on the report, but for a nominee, separate out nominee number 15. Any objections? Oh, we will separate out nominee 15. Are there any other nominees that individuals would like to separate out? Chair recognizes the Senator from Baltimore City.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to separate number 28.
28, 15, and 28 are separated. Are there any further separations, Senators? Just take a quick look. We don't need to rush it. All right. So we will take up report number 6, but not nominees 15 or 28. Are there any discussion on the report? If not, are we ready to vote? Ready for the question? All right. Shall the Senate advise and consent affirmatively to the nominations of the executive for all nominees except for 15 to 28? The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, the Senate advises and consents affirmatively to nominations on report number 6, but for nominees 15 and 28. Next order of business is nominee 15. Chair recognizes the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to special order that report until Friday.
Until Friday. The Senators move to special order the nomination until Friday. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the nominee will be special ordered to the appropriate time on Friday. Next order of business is nominee number 28. Chair recognizes Senator from Baltimore City.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to special order this report until next week.
Day.
Oh, Monday.
All right. Senator has moved to special order nominee. Has moved to special order nominee 28 until the 28th, March 28th. Are there any objections? Without objection, the nominee 28 is special order to the appropriate time on March 28th. All right, almost there. We've got a third reading calendar. This is calendar number 63. Clerk will read the first bill.
Senate Bill 240, Senator Simon Ayers, sale and use tax, tax-free periods, back-to-school shopping, and Energy Star products.
All right, Senate Bill 240 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 240 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 274, Senator Hayes, property tax exemptions for business personal property alterations.
Senate Bill 274 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 274 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 516, Senator Augustine, Equitable and Inclusive Transit-Oriented Development Enhancement Act.
Senate Bill 516 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 516 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 709, Senator Elfreth, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder and Traumatic Brain Injury Alternative Therapy Fund.
Senate Bill
Establishment David Perez Military Heroes Act in 2020, 22 a day.
All right. Senate Bill 709 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? Chair recognizes the senator from District 6, has 2 minutes to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank the sponsor for moving this bill forward, and I want to thank, more than anything, from the mother. David Perez worked for me, and is a good veteran. He worked hard, and I just want to thank her for moving forward for this, and I know they thank you and everybody here for their support in moving this forward. This is a very important issue, and this is something that I believe we should have addressed a long time ago, but starting today, I think we're doing a great thing. So I want to thank you very much, and I thank this House doing a good thing. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Any further senators wish to explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 709 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 755, Senator Hester, Infrastructure Grants, Federal Infrastructure Investment and Coordination Unit established.
Senate Bill 755 is on third reader for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 755 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 830, Senator Elfreth, Natural Resources, Oyster, Spat, Shells, and Substrate.
Senate Bill 830 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
1 moment. Senator from District 29? Okay. All right, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? Chair recognizes the senator from the 29th District to explain his vote.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, I wanted to say thank you to the sponsor and her team for all the work that went into this bill. When you put a group of watermen, a bunch of people working on the Oyster Advisory Committee, the Department of Natural Resources, and the Chesapeake Bay Foundation all together, and you're able to come out with a bill, right, that actually works. And it's a big issue because this brings $16 million when we talk about what we're talking about for repletion, restoration. We're talking about spat, shell, the things that really matter. And we're talking about a base survey that hasn't been done the likes of this since 1983. The fact is, when we started this bill, and then the negotiations that ensued between it. It was all open and transparent, amendment by amendment, and I just wanted to say thank you for all the people that worked on it, and that's why I'm supporting this bill.
All right, thank you, Senator. Chair recognizes Senator from the 37th District has 2 minutes to explain her vote.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I too want to say kudos to everybody who worked on this. It has not been easy, and the road's not finished yet. And we will continue to have a rocky road as we work to build trust and to clarify a lot of miscommunication that's gone and misunderstanding about what this bill is and what it does. But first and foremost, through the pandemic, we've taken a lot of time and energy to provide incentives to build industries and to be able to create a workforce. And I believe that this bill is a step in the right direction to do that. I took the time to meet with a lot of the watermen who, through the pandemic, had an incredible story. They took an old, dilapidated shucking house, that's where you shuck oysters and you can pick crabs too in the off-season. But they put their very blood, sweat, and tears and life savings into building a shucking house. They restored an old historic property into one where they employed 25 people with a very good salary, and they want to be able to put spat on shell back into the public fishery. We know that oysters have been so prolific this year in the natural waters, not in the sanctuaries, not in the restoration areas, but in where Mother Nature does her very best work. And this gives an opportunity, there's an incentive in this, to grow more of those businesses, to be able to restore those historic shucking houses, and to bring new people into the fisheries, to be able to continue to grow and thrive and improve our very, very remote communities, because that's what it's all about. We
Senator,
all want to be able to clean the bay. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
so
Senator.
I support this initiative.
Thank you so much, Senator. All right, any further senators wish to explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 44 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 830, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Senators, before we go to the next one, just want to welcome, we have the 10th graders from Digital Harbor High School who have joined us in the gallery behind you, and they are joined by their teacher, Ms. Mahone. And so if they could just rise and be recognized, they are in school in the Fightin' 46th District, and honored to have them. Hope you all enjoy your day in Annapolis today and have a great time sort of seeing democracy in action. Appreciate y'all. All right. Clerk, read the next bill.
Senate Bill 831, Senator Zucker, Education Support Professionals Work Group and Bonus.
All right, Senate Bill 831 is on third reader for final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 831, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 942, Senator Griffith, Agriculture, Urban Agriculture Water and Power Infrastructure Grant Program and Fund Establishment.
Senate Bill 942 is on third reader for final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 942, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 954, Senator Benson, State Retirement and Pension System, Use of Minority and Women-Owned Businesses Enterprises, Diversity Among Asset Managers Act of 2022.
Senate Bill 954 is on third reader for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 954, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 958, Senator Carrozza, Law Enforcement Officers Pension System, Crisfield Police Department.
Senate Bill 958 is on third reader for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 958, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 997, Senator ECKARDT, Correctional Officers Retirement System, Talbot County.
Senate Bill 997 is on third reader for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 997, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Senators, the desk is clear, and for the joy of our students in the gallery, this was a quiet day. We had a big day. Yesterday was crossover, so we had to get all the bills from one house to the other, and so we had a long day yesterday. Today was a little bit of today's a catch-up, clean-up day, so it's a little bit less energizing and entertaining, but hopefully you get a little picture of what we do here. All right, let's go ahead and hear from committees. Chair recognizes the chair of the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Finance Committee will meet at 1 p.m. We will have an update on medical cannabis licensing, followed by regular bill hearings and then voting.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. The 1 p.m. Chair recognizes the Chair of Education, Health, and Environmental Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'll meet at 1 o'clock. We have one bill to vote on. We're a second on, and then we'll have a bill hearing on 6 or 7 bills.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chair recognizes the Chair of Budget and Tax.
Take the day off.
All right. B&T taking the day off. Chair recognizes the Chair of Judicial Proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'll meet today at 1 p.m. for bill hearings.
1 p.m. for judicial proceedings?
Correct. 1 p.m. for bill hearings. Yep.
Great. Bill hearings. Excellent. Any other standing committees, select committees, special committees, delegations? Yes. Chair recognizes the Senator from the 35th District.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to mention that today is National Agriculture Day. So as we head to lunch, let's remind ourselves and be thankful for the folks that put the food on the table. You know, every year we have this, and just thank. You know, I always tell people if you eat in peace, thank a soldier. If you eat it all, thank a farmer, or as we heard in the bill earlier, a fisherman. So just keep that in mind today, National Agriculture Day.
Well said. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Senator. Never forget the farmers, right? That's the key. Yep. Chair recognizes the Senator from the 33rd District.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just would remind everyone that tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock at the Robert Neal Room, come and have fellowship, prayer, scripture, and a time to refocus for the last 3 weeks. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you. All right, tomorrow at 8 a.m. Wednesdays. Any further announcements? General announcements? If not, I think we're ready for... Was there not one more? Is there something else? No? Okay. All right, I think we're ready to do a quorum call.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their presence? If so, the clerk will take the call. With 46 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland remains in session. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate of Maryland stand adjourned until Wednesday, March 23rd at 10 a.m.
Without objection, so ordered. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Have a great day today. See you all tomorrow.